Welcome to this special episode about the technical specifications of Zero. Nerd special, this is Zero. Everything you asked me over the last couple of years will be in this video. What kind of engine, what kind of transmission, what kind of wind generator, and all the stuff will be right here. So stay tuned.
Hey Captain, what I always wanted to know about you. What motor do you have?
Usually these boats come with a Fort Lehman motor, but we have a Westerbeek engine in here. It's a 4-cylinder, 80 horsepower, and connects to the prop via a velvet drive transmission, which I just recently exchanged a couple months ago. It's a very reliable engine. We never had any trouble with it. It's firing right up. It's running smooth. So I hope it stays like this. Knock on wood.
Hey matey, can you tell me a little about your batteries and your charging devices? What are you using, about solar or I don't know, tell me about it.
We have 4 8D batteries, which are liquid batteries. Every battery has around 220 amp hours. So we have 880 amp hours battery, which gives us 440 amps to play with, which brings us pretty good through the day. For starter battery, we have one 8D battery. This is not a deep cycle, this is a regular truck battery for starting the engine. I think it's a little overkill, but better too big than too small. These batteries get charged by mostly, I would say 80% or more, by our 3 solar panels. We carry 2 solar panels on the radar arch and 1 panel on the pilot house. Each panel has 220 watts of power, which adds up to 660 watts of solar. All this controlled by a Morningstar 60 amp MPPT charge controller, and this is pretty much charging our batteries all the time. We haven't plugged in for ages, so even if we are in a marina, we mostly don't plug in. And the other 20% are coming from the wind generator. We have a Super Wind 350 wind generator, an awesome wind generator. Before I bought this Super Wind generator, I had the Air Breeze, the Air X, and it was so noisy, and all the vibration transferred from the blades, from the wind generator through the mast into the boat was really annoying. There are a few wind generators on the market which promise you they are silent, and I can tell you this one is silent. I have to stick my head out of the hatch to see if it's spinning, and it's spinning fast. At the moment we're doing almost 5 amps charging. We have around 12 knots of wind outside. So this adds up to the solar, and if it's a windy night, we wake up in the morning with 100% full charged battery, which is not too bad. So I mentioned the inverter. We have a 2000 watt inverter, so anytime we need some AC, we just push the button and there's AC coming out of the power plugs. I mean, I just recently bought a portable generator, but this is just for running tools. It's another piece of safety to get some charge into the system, or to get some power actually. It's an AC and DC generator, so I can generate AC power and DC power with it. In case something is broken or whatever, it will run some systems here. It's a 3200 watt startup. I think it's 2800 continuous power. It has an electric start, which is very nice, so you don't have to pull all the time. It runs.
What electronics did you put into Zero?
I replaced all the electronics with new B&G electronics, and I couldn't be any happier about it. I put a chart plotter in the helm station, and this is the head unit. This chart plotter has an integrated fish finder in it, so it's a sonar in it. Of course it has a separate transducer, but this is an in-hull transducer for the sonar, and we have a through-hull transducer for speed, temperature and water depth. This gives us all the information we need about the water. Then of course we have a wind vane and anemometer, which gives us wind speed and direction. All this paired with a BNG autopilot. This is hydraulic steering with the 2 helm stations here. So we put a reversible pump in it, and it's just running great. It has pretty much everything you need to sail a boat, even for racing. For example, the autopilot can follow a course, like a compass course, a magnetic compass. It can go straight to one point on the charts. So if you say, I want to go to that point, it brings you there. And if the wind or the current changes in between, it will adjust the course to steer. You can follow a wind, like you say, you trimmed all your sails and everything is fine for, let's say, 60 degree apparent, and you just want to keep that without changing your sails all the time, and you don't really care if you do a little detour or whatever, then you can say follow 60 degree apparent, and the wind changes, you change course, which is kind of helpful on a long leg. There wouldn't be any chance for me to sail solo to Alaska without a proper autopilot I can just trust on and rely on. So I need to sleep, so somebody has to stay awake and steer the boat.
You should have told me that earlier. Or maybe you've told me yesterday.
I added an AIS transceiver for a safety reason, and especially because I knew it's short-handed even if it's 2 people. I tried to rebuild or to make this boat possible for me to sail on my own. Even before I knew I would do some solo sailing, I always said, if somebody is just, injured or sick or whatever, this boat has to be able to steer and command by one person. So as much as you can put on information about your surroundings, like other ships, that helps. So I put an AIS transceiver on it, which helped me a lot when I was sailing to Alaska to see all the traffic going from the US West Coast to Asia. There was a lot of traffic. So I could see the boat names, they could see my boat name, and you can just grab your radio and call them. If you grab your radio and call them, freighter on this position, nobody will answer. They just give a shit. But if you call them by name, they answer. And then you can talk to them and say, I'm a sailboat here, do you see me? Yes, I see you. You can ask for weather, you can ask for the latest joke of the wardroom, whatever you want. But this is only possible if you know the boat name. And mostly, there's no way to get the boat name without AIS. If you can read it, it's too close, I tell you. Another helpful tool is the radar we have. This is a This is a 4th generation radar, and this is 1 point for BNG. For my knowledge, it's the only radar on the market which has a dual zone radar. On Zero, we can put one radar far ahead, let's say 8 or 10 miles, and then you can put it to a quarter mile in front of the boat and see if there's something drifting in the water. If you set your radar to 12 miles, there's no way for the radar to see anything in front of your boat. So this dual zone radar is awesome. You can put one zone in front of your boat. Maybe there's a drifting container or a buoy which is not marked or lighted or whatever. Something which could be an issue will show up there, and then you have to look ahead and see what's in front of you, far in front of you. So that's very good, and I don't think that any other company has this. Of course, we have instruments inside the boat, which is a multifunctional display and the autopilot control. So I can control everything from down below. We have right next to it, it's VHF. I just replaced it a couple months ago. It has a built-in AIS and a built-in GPS, which gives me some redundancy if my systems fail here. I can also check on AIS, but this is just receiving on the VHF. Adding up is a couple of handheld radios and Iridium Go I bought the Iridium Go when I did the solar sail to Alaska to get weather and to make sure I can contact somebody. I usually don't have a SIM card in it because it's kind of pricey, but I just need a SIM card and it's ready to go. My weather instruments are limited to a barometer and a storm glass. This gives me some essential background information about the weather. For coastal cruising, I use weather forecast over the phone. And if I don't have a weather forecast for a couple of days, I'm not peeing my pants. So everything is fine.
And what kind of safety equipment do you have?
Safety is very important here on Zero as well, like on any other boat. The biggest threats are first fire. So you need plenty fire extinguishers. I have fire extinguishers in every room, and they are mostly pretty visible. So the next thing is, of course, keeping water out. We have 2 electric bilge pumps which are on automatic mode, and we have a manual big whale gusher in case there's some more water or whatever, or the electric system is not working anymore. We carry plenty life vests, of course. We have flares, actual flares. I just replaced them before I left San Diego, so they're just a couple months old. And we have an 8-person offshore life raft. The offshore model, which gives you more time with all the pre-packed equipment inside to stay afloat or stay adrift in your life raft, which hopefully never ever happens. This is one of the equipment, one of the very expensive equipment you buy pretty much like an insurance policy. You hope you never have to use it, but it costs money to get the safety. Same with the earpiece right here. And in case we are in trouble, we activate it, and pretty much within 1 hour the sign will get picked up. Somebody knows you're in trouble. Again, expensive but very necessary.
How much water do you carry? Do you have a water maker? Or a rum maker? Maybe?
We carry a lot of water and a lot of fuel. So we have 4 tanks, 2 water tanks and 2 fuel tanks, which are each 150 gallon. And that lasts a long time. So with just 2 people on the boat, it will last for months. And that's awesome. Of course, a water maker would be nice, but at the moment, the cruising kitty doesn't allow an investment like that.
I mean, who needs water?
Yeah, that's pretty much about it. If I miss anything, please let me know. Put it in the comments below. Everything in here is, except the engine that is repowered in 2003, everything is either brand new or the maximum is 5 years old, and it's working great. It gives me some very comfort feeling to know that I can just use it. I hope it will last long. You never know, but that's it.
You shouldn't have told me that. Now I want this ship ready to enter. Ah!
Just me and my boat. It's just me and my boat.
Hey Captain, what I always wanted to know about you. What is your motor? No, what? Hey, matey.
I'm in Amazon.
Can you tell a little about your charging batteries or batteries? Das war falsch.
Gleich nochmal.
Mann. Ja. Reicht das? I mean, I always drink rum, but what is it about your water tip? Okay. And how much rum do you carry? I don't know. I was prepared. Cheers, mate.
Aloha and out.